Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite writing resources. So I have compiled a list of some of my favorite writing resources, things that I always use when I'm writing a book. I just thought that it would be fun to share it with you guys and talk about some of the things that are really beneficial to me as I am writing, and maybe it will help you as well. So the first one is one of my favorite ones, one of the most beneficial to me personally, and that is YouTube. So you're already halfway there because you're watching me on YouTube, but I love going to YouTube for writing. So either that's watching other Authortubers and just getting inspiration or getting motivated from their vlogs or their videos. I just love watching other Authortubers, and I find watching other people talking about their books and what they're doing just really gets me in the mood to write and to get me in the mood to actually sit my butt down and stop watching YouTube and get to work. So I love watching other Authortubers for inspiration and motivation. I specifically love watching Authortubers for like tips and help and how-tos on specific things in writing or just writing in general, publishing, things like that. YouTube is a great place to come to learn new things, and there's a lot of experienced authors on this platform that talk about things like how to plan out your characters, how to write a good ending, how to write good dialogue, things like that. They're just really helpful, and I tend to take notes on the videos that I watch if I'm finding it helpful in like a journal or something. I do have a notebook in my desk over here where I write down a bunch of notes from different videos that I watch. I thought that I would just talk about some of my favorite Authortubers, the ones that I find the most beneficial, inspirational, motivating, things like that. My favorites are Kate Kavanaugh. She does a lot of fun writing experiments and vlogs. She also does a lot of live shows, which is a lot of fun, which is another thing that I love to do, especially during NaNoWriMos, is watch other people's live write-ins, so that's really exciting. I also love Adele Marie. She primarily does like writing vlogs as well, but she does throw in the occasional sit-down video where she actually talks about writing. I know she has a video talking about her strengths and weaknesses in writing and things like that. I love her like energy, and I love hearing her talk about her writing, so I go to her more for like the motivation, inspirational side, and just to kind of see what she's up to. Of course, I love Alexa Dunn. She is the traditionally published author of Brightly Burning and The Stars We Steal. She has such an informative channel. She talks a lot about publishing and kind of things in publishing that no one really talks about, and she's just a great resource for writing tips, publishing. She also does the occasional like vlog if she's revising or writing a book. And she also has some booktube content as well. She's just such a great resource. I can binge watch her videos for hours, so much so that my mom will come into my room when I'm watching her. She's like, "You're watching her again?" And I'm like, yes, I am always watching Alexa Dunn. I literally watched her newest video as I was eating my breakfast this morning, so big fan of Alexa Dunn. And then a new one that I just found literally yesterday, and I binged a whole bunch of videos, is Abby Emmons. She's an indie published author. She has some great videos, a lot of how-tos and tip kind of videos, and she's just like, I don't know, she's so aesthetic. Like, her background is gorgeous. All of her backgrounds are gorgeous, and she just seems like a really kind and smart person, and I just love hearing her talk about writing, and I'm definitely going to be continuing to watch all of her videos and binging her old ones because I am obsessed. Another new one, and she is a really small YouTuber. I don't even know if she has 200 subscribers, but Diane Marie, I think all she does is vlogs. She doesn't just do writing content, she also just has like normal vlogs of her life, but I adore her vlogs. There's something about them, I don't know why. She's really pretty. I don't know. I just like binged watched all of her Camp NaNoWriMo vlogs and like literally every video she has, and I was just obsessed. Something about her personality. I found her videos really captivating, so definitely check her out. And then Jenna Moresi is a really popular one. She has great resources. I got some of my character profile questions from one of her videos, and it like literally helped me crack the code on how to figure out my characters, which is really great. And she's also an indie published author, and she just has so many great videos, and definitely a couple of years ago I binged watched like everything, and I was watching every single video she uploaded, so definitely check her out as well if you haven't. And then the last one is more of a booktuber than an authortuber, but she does throw in the occasional writing video, and that is Hayden Books. She is my friend Haley. She talks about writing occasionally. I think she has a couple writing videos that she's filmed that she's planning on putting out, but she is amazing. Definitely one of my favorites. I love hearing about her projects, and she definitely deserves more subscribers, and I know that if you're watching this you might also watch my booktube content, so definitely check check her out if you haven't already. I will link all of these YouTubers down below if you haven't heard of them and want to subscribe, which I definitely recommend. They are amazing, amazing Authortubers. There are so many others that I might link down below, but these are just kind of the ones that I've been obsessed with recently or have been obsessed with in the past. The next resource is writing craft books, but specifically Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brody. This is a book all about the Save the Cat beat sheet and story structure. There's also a screenwriting one, which was the original one by Blake Snyder, but she kind of adapted it to be specifically for novel writing, which I love so much. I'll make sure to link the Save the Cat beat sheet down below because you don't have to buy this book to use the beats in your outline, but I definitely recommend buying the book or at least checking it out from your library, whatever you want to do or can do. I just recommend reading this book somehow because I used the beat sheet originally when I was doing draft 2 of Reasons Why Not To, and then doing draft 3 of Reasons Why Not To, I actually had the book and read it, and it just cracked the code even more for me. Like, this is the only outlining method that has truly worked for me, and I've used a lot of different methods. I think I'm gonna make a video talking about how I outline using Save the Cat and kind of the other things that I do while I outline, but this book is just so helpful. It talks about characters, it talks about the outline in the beat sheet, it talks about story genres, it talks about pitches. Like, it has literally everything you could ever need. It literally says the last book on novel writing you'll ever need, and honestly it is just so helpful. Like I said, like, it literally changed the game for me and saved my ass with outlining because I always had such a hard time with outlines, but this one is so helpful. If you struggle with outlining or just want to know more about story structure, no matter what phase of the writing process you were in, whether you're drafting or revising or whatever, definitely recommend checking this book out, reading it front to back, and just taking in all of the information. I promise you, this book will save your life. The next resource is just like websites in general. There are a lot of websites. I don't have too many specific ones that I can direct you to. I might link some more specific ones down below that I have on my computer that I just don't know off the top of my head. But maybe just like Google in general. I use Google a lot if I need help with names. I use it a lot for like mannerisms and habits and hobbies and things like that. Just little things that I can just like look at a list for, so I can pull from that list for my characters. It's really helpful. I know there's a website for Save the Cat. I've gone on it before, but I haven't like delved too deep into it, but I'll definitely link that down below if you want to check the website out and see what that has to offer. I know Susan Dennard has a website. She's the author of Truth Witch, and I know that she has a lot of writing resources if I'm not mistaken, so I'll link that down below as well. I'll link down below anything that I can, but whatever you need basically you can find on Google. The next one is one that I feel like a lot of writers use, and that is Pinterest. Pinterest is a great place for inspiration and to just kind of like really immerse yourself in your story. I typically find pins for my characters, like inspiration pics, what they would look like, things that they're into, things like that. Maybe what their room would look like, just anything to do with characters specifically I tend to put in my Pinterest boards. Things like settings. And what's really great about Pinterest recently, I think in the last year or so, they have it where you can organize everything into categories. So like I have a section in my Pinterest board specifically for the bookstore in the book. I have one specifically for each character. I even have one for the love interest and my main character, like them specifically together. I have an aesthetic category, so there's like so much you can do with Pinterest. It's just a great resource for planning out your story, getting immersed in your story. I find it really beneficial in the early stages of writing a book, just to kind of figure out what your story is and kind of just help you get a feel for what the story is. I typically use it the most in the beginning of a project, but sometimes I'll just be scrolling on Pinterest and things will come up. Another great thing that Pinterest has is on your boards there will be a section that says more ideas, and you can click on that. It has pins that are tailored to what's already pinned in your board, which is really helpful and a really easy way to find new pins to add into your board, which I just love. It's just a really fun way to figure things out in your story and just to pin as many things as you can. So Pinterest is just such a fun and exciting thing to do for writing. Another great resource is Spotify, or really just any music in general. This also kind of ties into YouTube because I use YouTube for music and things as well. So something that I love doing is going on Spotify and creating like a novel playlist. So songs that remind me of my characters or scenes or just kind of the story in general. For the characters, sometimes I'll have songs that actually remind me of the character. So about the way that they are, their personality, what they're going through, but also sometimes it's songs that they would actually listen to. Now here's the thing, I personally don't always listen to my specific playlist while I'm writing. I find that I really never listen to the Reasons Why Not To playlist as I'm writing. I typically just listen to my liked songs on Spotify and that's what I listen to. But regardless, it's just nice to have a playlist that reminds you of your book. And it's just a really, really fun thing to kind of curate. Something else that I really love doing that ties into YouTube, like I said, is listening to like ambient sounds. You can also do this on Spotify. There are playlists for like ambient sounds, which I really love doing. But what I love doing specifically is going on YouTube and going on ASMR Rooms. It's a channel that has amazing, beautiful ambient sounds. Definitely recommend checking them out. Sometimes I'll even put on the ambient sound on ASMR Rooms on like a lower volume, and then I'll have music on Spotify going, and I'll just kind of play with the volumes and how loud each one of them are, and I'll have both of them playing at the same time. And I honestly love that so much. It's so immersive and it really just blocks out everything else. But I have to be listening to something while I'm writing. I really don't like writing in silence or where I can hear other people talking or what other people are watching or doing in the house. I need to be focused in on whatever I'm listening to so that I can get some writing done. And the last two kind of resources go together, and that is I need to have my planner and my bullet journal when I am writing. Planners and bullet journals are so beneficial to me because I am such a planner, I'm such an organized person, and I always need to know what I'm doing, and this just really helps me keep track of everything. So this is a planner that I actually bought at Target. This is something that I use literally every single day. So for example, today, I only have today filled out. I typically fill out like a few days in advance, so normally I would have this whole section kind of filled out with a few things, but right now all I have is film videos, which I'm currently doing, edit at least one and upload one, and then I also have work in my outline for my book, The Show Must Go On. So yeah, this is just kind of where I put everything in, not just writing related, but this is one of my favorite resources. I've always used a planner. I literally can't go without it. I use it literally every single day. And then my bullet journal I primarily use for keeping track of my reading, but I do have the occasional writing spread thrown in. Every single month I always have a spread for days read and written. So here are my days written so far this month. I just like kind of to see what days I'm writing, kind of keeps me accountable. It's always really satisfying to color in one of these squares. Months where I'm doing a lot of writing or things like that, like NaNoWriMo months, I do a lot of spreads. So let me show you like what I did when I did November NaNoWriMo last year. So like I have an entire aesthetic board for the book I was working on, which is The Show Must Go On. And then I also put a summary over here with the mock-up cover that I made. And then I just had 3 of my favorite songs from the playlist. And then I had like NaNoWriMo specific pages. So I had all my goals down here. I had the badges from the NaNoWriMo site, but it was really satisfying to print these all out and have them in here. I am obsessed. And then I also had my actual grid for my words written every day, and then full-on stats for the month. But it was just really satisfying to fill this in and all of my information in my bullet journal. But these two things are just really helpful to keep me accountable and to just kind of see my habits and kind of what I'm doing for the day, for the week, for the month. It's just really helpful, and I definitely recommend some sort of organization method. If you use a bullet journal, you can do weekly spreads in your bullet journal. I don't like doing that. I like having it actually pre-done in a planner. I know a lot of people use like online planner organizers, but I like handwriting things and like physically crossing things out when I am done, but definitely need some sort of organization in my life. And it's just honestly my favorite resource is just planning out my days and my weeks and my months and figuring that out and keeping track of everything. So those are all of my favorite writing resources. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did. Comment down below some of your favorite writing resources. Let me know what you use when you're writing, because I'd really love to know. Always looking for some new amazing resources. Subscribe if you've not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!